So we got October Solicits. Obviously, we talked about some of the things that were announced last week, but we'll go through them as always, give our thoughts on some covers or any details that might pop up that are worth mentioning. I've not looked at these, so I like to just discover them as we go. So first up, we got Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong issue 1, aka how Kong will lose like a bitch again.
I can't wait for because Batman to affect Godzilla and watch your brain melt.
No. See that's a mano a mano showdown. I can accept either winner in that scenario, right? That's I can respect either outcome. But what I love about this is that we're going to see Godzilla beat Kong, we're going to see Superman beat Kong, we're going to see Wonder Woman beat Kong, and then somehow with the power of preparation, Batman is going to beat Kong's ass, and it's going to be glorious.
No. And then he's going to turn on Godzilla, and he's going to have some, nuclear blast suit, kaiju battler thing.
That's the thing. I actually am more interested in seeing how someone like Batman tackles Godzilla, because Godzilla does have rules like that, because there is the radiation, there is, there's things to kind of explore. But Kong is just a big ape, though. There's not really much.
And that's why I love him.
What are they going to do? Find some giant bananas to lure him somewhere with?
Hey man, if he has his axe that was in the movie, I think they need to watch out. Godzilla doesn't use tools. He doesn't have a higher functioning brain.
I agree, he's an idiot.
Godzilla?
No, Kong.
He's got a lizard brain.
Oh, you're talking about Godzilla? I thought you were talking about Kong.
Yeah.
I was just hearing what I wanted to hear, apparently.
You were, because I said Godzilla doesn't use tools.
He doesn't need tools, he's got atomic breath.
Yeah, exactly. So Kong has an axe, and I'm just saying, he uses tools.
He can also...
He's in the Stone Age.
Godzilla can also swim, he's a very efficient swimmer. Kong, though, is like a video game character who, like, if he just dips his toes in water, that's it, he's dead.
Well, that's based off of truth, really. I'm about to bore Pete because he doesn't care about real life stuff like this. But the muscle mass on a gorilla is so dense as they sink, so they're not effective swimmers. So that's why you don't see too many apes going so close to water. That said, in Kong Skull Island, that Kong wasn't, adverse to fighting, lake creatures or river creatures. So it shows that it's not based in reality. That's all.
Oh, I'm sorry. The movie about the giant ape that's about the size of a 30-story building is not based in reality.
I guess not.
Okay.
So what gets me about this book here, though, yes, it looks fun. I'm going to read the hell out of it. But what is a roar sound effects gatefold variant cover? Does that mean it's going to have the Godzilla roar when you open it?
I think that's what it means. I think that the old kids books where there's a little sound chip in it, and you.
Let's go. Even I'm a Kong guy, I'd much rather have the Godzilla sound when I.
Oh, it's a much more
book.
Iconic sound.
Yeah.
No denying that.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Amazon's Attack, issue 1. This is Josie Campbell with Vasco Georgiev on the art. We've got what we got here? We got Yara, we got Mary Marvel, we got Nubia. So we talked about this a bit last week. The fact that it's Josie Campbell and that Mary Marvel's on the team does obviously pique our interest, I think, a lot more than it otherwise might have been. Not to say that we can't enjoy just a Wonder Woman book, but I feel like there's been a lot of these mini-series tied to Wonder Woman over the last year or two, and they've all been kind of just and skippable. Well,
they've ran back Amazon Attack 4 times since the original that came out in the mid-2000s. It was written by Will Pfeiffer. So every time I see it again, I'm just okay, we're doing this again. This, though, you put this team, Campbell and Georgiev, and my interest is piqued.
Yeah. Supergirl Special, we also talked about a little bit. This is Marika Tamaki writing with Skylar Partridge on art. And it's funny, we were so excited about this that I don't think any of us even mentioned that Tamaki did being super. So it's actually a return to Supergirl.
I think that you did. I think that's what that was. Yeah. Or Connor did. I remember hearing being super in there.
Well, regardless, there's a reason to be excited. Hopefully this leads to some more Tamaki comics at DC. There's been a little break for DC since our Detective Comics stuff, so hopefully this is a bridge to more.
And Supergirl's been, she hasn't had a book really either, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully let's put some feelers out.
We got Batman Superman World's Finest, issue 20. Wade and Mora, as you'd expect. Is that that's a lot of Kingdom Come looking characters on that cover, Matt?
Yeah, because they're talking about Boy Thunder. So we all know what universe he ends up in. The fact that he becomes Magog. Curious to see how that plays into what Wade's been doing, considering he wrote Kingdom Come. But yeah, Dan Mora doing that version, not which I'm so used to the Kingdom Come designs. Like, we've seen them before, but they're so, I associate Alex Ross with them. But seeing Dan Mora's take on them, they just, they have a difference to them, and I can't explain it,
Yeah, although those shoulders on Batman are compensating for something. Look at the bloody things.
Yeah. Yep.
Then we got Batman City of Madness issue 1. This is Christian Ward writing and doing art. This is a 3-issue Prestige Plus book. Does it say Black Label? I'm assuming it's Black Label. I don't know
if it's Prestige Plus, that usually is.
It probably is, yeah. Let's read that one. I don't know what this is. Let's have a look. Buried deep beneath Gotham City, there exists another Gotham. The Gotham below is a living nightmare, populated by twisted mirrors of our Gotham denizens. This sounds a little bit like the Upside Down, I'm not going to lie. Fueled by the fear and hatred flowing down from above. For decades, the doorway between the cities has been sealed, so it's kind of like a magical... See, I was going to criticize this a minute ago for like, well, this has been down there the whole time, but now it sounds no, it's like a portal to another dimension almost underground.
That's been opened, yeah.
All right, but it's been guarded by the court owls. This doorway. Oh, that's interesting. But now the door swings wide, and the twisted version of the Dark Knight has escaped. To trap and to train a Robin of his own, Batman must form an uneasy alliance with the court and his deadly allies to stop him, and to hold back the wave of twisted supervillains, nightmarish versions of his own nemesis, each one worse than the last, that's spilling into his streets. You know what? I think if you told me there's an evil Batman round around and just pitched me that, I'd say, I feel like we do that enough. This actually sounds quite interesting, though, to be honest. I'm kind of into this description.
Well, and after the last Christian Ward drawn book was that Aquaman.
That's right. That was gorgeous, yeah.
Then that looked great, and he was doing some monstery stuff in there.
Yeah.
Here, like Dark Batman drawn by Ward,
Yeah, I think his art is going to lend itself to it because it'll feel cosmic horror. I think the other thing that makes this work for me is, one, it's got a lot of lore already tied to it. This idea that the Court of Owls are guarding it, and Batman's going to have to like work with them. Yep. But also the idea that a horrible version of Batman's trying to find a kid to turn into his Robin in our world, or in like the regular DC world. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, I like the Court of Owls because we haven't gotten them a lot, right? I feel like pick their spots in the stories that they use them.
Yeah, I feel like we've not seen them much outside of continuities, because this is a Black Label book, right? So I feel like we don't tend to see them in books like this. I mean, in the last couple of years, we have seen them pop up. Like, they were in the Gotham Knights video game. I think they eventually showed up on like Gotham, I want to say, by the end. But I feel like because they're a relatively new creation. They're over a decade old now, but that's relatively new in comics terms. I feel like this is just one of the first times I can remember them being in like a prestige, like standalone book like this. I could be wrong. Maybe there's an example that I'm not thinking of, but this is sticking out to me on that.
Yeah, no.
So cool. And the cover is very nice and
Christian Ward. It's got tentacles.
I do see octopus-style tentacles. Maybe there's a Kraken in this as well. Hey, maybe it's set in the same world as Aquaman Andromeda.
That's what it was called. I was racking my brain and couldn't remember. But yeah, I like the court. It should be fun.
Yeah. So then we got Batman 138. Chip Zdarsky, Jorge Jimenez. Oh, Jimenez on art.
That's exciting. The cover. There's a number of things in Batman I don't want to see anymore. And right up next to it, I don't want to see Nightwing fight Bruce. I'm over it. Like, talk it out. Go to therapy. All right.
It does kind of feel like Zdarsky's going down the shopping list of everything that every Batman writer seems to hit on. Yeah.
Well, again, this could just be metaphorical, right?
Yeah,
like they might not actually. It's just Dick going out like, "Why are you doing this with Selena?" type stuff. But the cover doesn't instill me with confidence.
No, that's fair. Catwoman 58. This was the one. Yeah, Nico Leon. This was the this was the one who complained on Twitter. So yeah, which makes sense. This is 3 months till this comes out. So yeah, 3 months to do the art. Good luck, Nico, if you're not taken off for trash talking the process on Twitter. Yeah. Then we got Batman Catwoman The Gotham War Red Hood issue 2. This is the tie-in 2-parter. And then we got Batman Catwoman The Gotham War Scorched Earth issue 1, which is the finale to the crossover. Can't say I'm particularly thrilled at any of this still, but hey, at least it's done with by the end of October.
Yeah, real quick on the Nico Leon thing. I just pulled up the tweet because it's still up there.
Yeah.
And they also add, I think I might write an open letter explaining the massive pain that's been working in Catwoman. So there's a little bit more to than just the joke of stick figures.
Yeah, that sounds a little spicy. Like they've had maybe repeating conflicts with getting the scripts late or something like that.
Yeah, so and it might not be at the writer. It could be editorial. It could be forcing a crossover that wasn't meant. Who knows?
Yeah. It could be a problem with either Tini Howard, the writer, or it could be an editorial problem where maybe in past issues they've done the book and then they've said, no, you need to change it for this reason. Yeah. And, it could be more that than the writer's always late. Because I don't want to just villainize the writer based on this one tweet.
Right.
I don't have enough evidence to say that.
So they say working in Catwoman, it's not just like... Because I feel like if they wanted to call out the writer... It would have been worded a little bit differently. So it just seems like a cry for help amidst frustration, But very interesting. We haven't had any kind of like creative dramas since DDO left, really. This was a lot more common under his stewardship.
Yes, DDO leaving, of course, is D-Day in DC terms.
D-Day, that's correct.
All right, Detective Comics 1075.
Ooh, what a cover.
We do have a young Bruce Wayne surrounded by bats, which might suggest some metaphorical returns to his childhood. Let's hope for no perils. Ram V, I trust you.
I trust him for giving us a different perspective, So, but yes.
Yes. Art by Dustin Wynn, though. That is a notable artist to have on a regular issue of Detective.
Good for Ram V. First signs a all-exclusive contract with DC, now getting to work with Dustin Wynn.
DC put a ring on it.
That's right.
We got Nightwing 107, and what I can only describe as a sexy photo for like the calendar, the Bat Boys calendar. And this is Nightwing as a construction worker up on... No, so not construction. This is a ship. He's up on the... I thought he was up like a power pylon thing for a second.
He's a pirate, Pete.
I see that now that I'm looking at it closer. I thought it was up like fixing phone lines or something.
Oh man!
Just for a second.
I know, it's just very funny. I would put this art on my wall. I am unashamed. This is a great image.
The shirt's kind of half open. That said, though, they're not objectifying his ass for a change, so
which is nice.
Variety.
Yeah, like
some variety.
Yeah, I feel like this is a glamour shot for Babs, We
got Batman and Robin issue 2. That's right. Remember that Williamson's starting a Batman and Robin series in September. So yeah, that's issue 2 of that. We got Birds of Prey issue 2. We're all excited for the Kelly Thompson book, so that's coming. I'm loving the negative space on the covers for these so far.
I mean, Leonardo Romero did do Hawkeye with Kate and Kelly Thompson, so very, very similar in that style. Very excited for this book.
I like how you said Kate first. Like Kate's like a creative member of the team.
Well, yeah, no, I just, you know what I mean.
Kate collaborated by telling them her life story so they could put it into comic form.
Well, I just wanted to clarify it was Kate Bishop Hawkeye, not Clint Barton Hawkeye.
Yeah, then we got Batman the Brave and the Bold issue 6, which... Man, Gillen March, his name on that is not...
I don't see any of our names that we would want on here.
Jorge Molina is quite good as an artist, but one good artist out of... I shouldn't... Because Jeff Spokes and Stefano Landini might be great, I don't know. But one name that I recognise out of like 4 artists that I like is not enough, I think, to get me that excited. But,
Yeah. Oh, Director Bones story in here.
Okay.
Yeah, and Rob Williams, Stefano Landini. Plus a no holds barred story of Batman from Colin Kelly, Jackson Landini, Jorge Molina, in their first Batman black and white story. So yeah, so maybe then because you said 5, right? For
I think so.
For King, and so is that meant to be like a 3-issue kind of deal, or do you think it's?
I'm not sure.
Because I don't see them on here, but stuff can change, right? Like,
but I do wonder if it was meant to be finished by that issue. So now that things have moved around, maybe King and that will have a story in here.
Yeah.
Because everything's been pushed back. So it's hard to say. Or maybe they'll end up in every other issue, starting with issue 5 or something like that. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, it'll be pretty obvious when we read the next one if it's the final part or not. But Penguin issue 3. Speaking of Tom King, his Penguin book is on issue 3 in October. We got Harley Quinn 33, which has a Lola Rabbit version of.
It's very Who Framed Roger Rabbit to me.
Well, she looks like Lola Bunny is what I was getting at.
No, I know that too, but just her as with the detective hat, kind of fedora.
Oh sure,
on.
yeah. For all the furries out there who want to splurge over Harley Rabbit, you've got a chance.
As I say, no judging. You dropped that phrase, so
I wasn't judging.
Yes, I know, but just me saying no judging as you're yelling that word is.
Let the splurge flow through. Freeze. As long as the one's being hurt. Although actual bunnies can't consent, I want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Just,
well, Poison Ivy. This cover looks great.
Oh yeah, Poison Ivy 15. That looks like is that Killer Croc that's there with Ivy on the cover?
I think so, but based off of pre-Night Terrors ongoings, that's where it was heading. It looked like.
Oh, look at this next thing!
No. Oh, that was a yes, no if I've ever seen it.
Oh yeah. There's ups and downs here. So we have a book called Wesley Dodds, The Sandman issue 1. It is the first issue of a 6-issue miniseries written by Robert Venditti. This all sounds quite good. It sounds like an excellent time. Sandman has just been reintroduced in Night Terrors. I'd be quite into this, and I may still try it. However, the art is Riley Rosmo.
Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's more like the Batman Shadow, Riley Rosmo.
Well, to be fair, Matt, he did do the cover, and that cover doesn't look bad. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. That looks like Batman Shadow that we read, that mini. So, hopefully it's like this. I realize I haven't read a lot of Sandman Wesley Dodds, and so I started looking. Do we know if the Sandman Mystery Theater books are in print right now?
Oh, I have no idea.
Shoot.
No idea.
Because the fact that this is coming out now makes me wonder if they're going to start reprinting them.
I don't think I've ever read any Wesley Dodds Sandman books, but that's why this is exciting to me. I love these types of characters coming back for things like this.
Yes.
So not that he's necessarily back. I mean, I don't know if this is this may just be set during the time period. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mini too, so it could be at any point in his career.
But I can see a theme at play here because we also have Jay Garrick, The Flash, issue 1, written by Jeremy Adams, who just obviously wrapped up his Flash run, with art by Diego Ortega. Really cool cover. This is Jay and his daughter on the cover. Cool. Yep. Also a 6-issue miniseries. These sound like one-shots. These are actually... This is kind of cool. These are all miniseries. And there's a third one. We've got Alan Scott, Green Lantern, issue 1. This is written by Tim Sheridan and art by Cian Tormey. I do really like that cover, which is by David Talaski.
Yep.
I'll admit, Tim Sheridan, didn't he do like some of those Tim Drake books early on?
He did the Titans Academy.
Ah, okay. So I'm not super enthusiastic by his name, but I'll give it a try because I want to read an Alan Scott book.
I mean, and that cover, the Art Deco-ness of the border behind him, it screams just Justice Society to me. Yeah. So
that said, though, that's the cover artist who's not the interior artist, so... Yeah,
but we like Tormey. Tormey's pretty decent.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying it won't look like that, though.
Yeah. No, but like it feels like it's... If that's what the vibe they're going for is classic Justice Society, maybe that's Sheridan's bread and butter and we don't know it yet.
Yeah, maybe. We got Wonder Woman issue 2. That's right. I forgot that we're getting a new Wonder Woman Tom King run.
I love that cover.
And Josie Campbell's doing the backup. I mean, these are all good things. Obviously, the Josie Campbell thing's probably tying into the Amazon's attack, given that it's also the same artist. So that's fair enough. We got
so it looks like there's some villains in the bracelet reflections.
Oh yeah, I can see them. Yeah,
it looks like Dr. Poison there, but yeah, that's such a good cover. Sam Pierre killing it.
Yep. Sam Pierre's excellent. We got the Flash issue 2 by Cy Spurrier and Mike Diodato Jr. Also an interesting cover. It's definitely doing something different, so we'll see. New character debut, so make sure if you're getting this physically to get your pre-orders in. The Stillness is making a debut.
Cool. Just keep the Still Force away right now.
That doesn't mean they're using Still Force.
No, please. I'm just saying we can do. Don't.
There's no mention of Still Force in the text, so I think you can rest easy. I think.
This is a nice cover.
We have the eagerly anticipated Superman issue 7/850. Which I get what they're doing here. Honestly, legacy numbering on the cover, you can keep that there forever, DC. Thank you very much. But yeah, so obviously this is issue 850 overall if you add up all the main Superman comics together. It's issue 7 of this run though, which is Joshua Williamson with Gleb Melenkov, Dan Jurgens, and others. It's a Jamal Campbell cover, which, they've had some Jamal Campbell covers before.
I love this cover a whole lot. Just the way that it's playing with the light. And the birds. It's just,
notably, he's not in interiors for this issue, but, I don't know if he's just taking a break before he gets back to another arc, or if he's just off the book after the initial arc. I'm not sure. But, so that's cool. And it's a little bit oversized. It's 48 pages, $6. So, yeah. We get Action Comics 1058. That's only part of a cover, I think, which probably means they're hiding a spoiler from a previous issue, would be my guess.
Well, if you read what the issue's about, then I'm sure I realize who that is.
Superman.
An imposter tyrant Superman.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who stays away from the...
Gotcha, but... Who knows what that means? Is it an actual, or is it just Clark, coming at terms with something? We don't know. That said, the backup I'm very excited for.
Yeah, we got a Jean Lun Yang written backup, which I'm going to assume is New Superman.
With Victor Bogdanovich on art, so that's putting that team back together.
That is quite cool, actually. That's taking us back to the start of Rebirth.
Yep. Man, I love that book so much. We'll talk about Keenan in action. I miss that character so much.
We got Power Girl issue 2, which is Leah Williams and Eduardo Pansica.
My goodness, is that a Gary Frank cover?
It is a Gary Frank cover, yeah.
Let's go.
Very good. We got Shazam issue 4. What's the weird thing is, because a lot of these books took 2 months off after 2 issues, I'm shocked that we're only getting issue 4 solicits, but that's why. But yeah, that was cool. Also a nice cover, to be honest. There's a lot of nice covers so far. Steelworks issue 5, penultimate issue of that miniseries. We got Hawk Girl issue 4. After you weren't here for issue 1, were you?
Yeah, I was.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you weren't. It was Connor who was being the downer.
Yeah, Connor was in it. I liked it. It was okay. It was a nice first issue. We're gonna have Hot Girl versus Dragon, so let's go.
We got Titans issue 4, so that's going. We got a big Amanda Waller in the background, peering down over everyone.
And Gar with a bunch of animals and a rainforest. I liked it without Waller in the back. I really just like the vibe of that. With her there, it adds a sense of ominousness. So.
Oh, it was a menace, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We get Cyborg issue 4. Which is 4 of 6. We have World's Finest Teen Titans issue 4. So that's still going. We got Tales of the Titans issue 4, which is the last of those, and does actually set up a little bit of the next little crossover event. We got Green Lantern issue 4, which
Hey.
notably has a Flash on the cover as well.
And a co-writer. Well, it must be the backup. Never mind. That's and a co-writer, but
yeah,
probably not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got Peter Tomasi. When was the last time he did something with DC?
I don't know, but I love Tomasi Green Lantern, so
It's been a while. So that is cool. We got Green Lantern War Journal issue 2, which this is the second ongoing Green Lantern book featuring John Stewart by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Which I'm looking forward to. As much as I didn't really like the backups he did, it was less because of the concepts and more just because it felt like there wasn't enough pages to actually like tell what he was trying to do. So I'm looking forward to him being able to flesh it out with an actual book. Blue Beetle issue 2 makes sense. We got Fire and Ice Welcome to Smallville issue 2 by Joanne Stader and Terry Dodson. We got Green Arrow issue 5.
Oh boy.
That's a lot of Oliver Queens on the cover.
Hey, but there's a variant cover by Alvaro Martinez Bueno from Nice House on the Lake.
Oh, I mean, that's nice.
See what that look like. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the next couple issues of that are like. Obviously, we would not been super hot on it. Doom Patrol, Unstoppable Doom Patrol issue 7, which is the final issue of that miniseries, coming out in October. I do really hope that leads to more, but obviously been really digging that book. So cool. Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom special issue 1. There's
hard pass. No offense. Yeah.
There's talks of that movie being delayed for several months, so we'll see if this book still follows coming out. But yeah.
Yeah.
We got Return of Superman 30th Anniversary Special issue 1.
AKA let Dan Jurgens do his thing. You know.
Yeah, to celebrate the reign of Superman and Return of Superman, DC has brought back the original classic creative teams for new stories set in the wake of Superman's death. It all begins with New Daily Planet editor-in-chief Lois Lane discovering Perry White's journals from that time. So they're kind of tying it loosely into modern continuity.
You know what though? I kind of like that though. I mean, and he gives it a wraparound kind of thing. An excuse to jump back in the past.
It's given it a framework to tell its short stories in.
That's the word I was looking for, was a framework.
I will say, I expect these stories to mostly be fluff, would be my guess. Like a lot of these, this is an 80-page special they're doing. I'm not going to say I won't read it though, it kind of just depends how busy that week is, but having a loose tie to the present day continuity does make it feel at least a little bit more... I wouldn't say important. I wouldn't say that, but it feels a bit more, I don't know, just connected, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and now because of this, I just realized that it drops on Halloween, which means it's going to be on a Tuesday. Which that kind of bums me out. The Halloween's on a Tuesday.
You gotta wait another 3 or 4 years for the weekend again, Matt. Sorry.
I know.
Probably 3. I'm sure there's a leap year before then.
A leap year somewhere, yeah.
All American Comics issue 16 Facsimile Edition. Detective Comics 140 Facsimile Edition, Batman Beyond Neo Gothic issue 4, Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker issue 6, City Boy issue 6, final issue of that, Danger Street issue 10, super pumped for that.
Hey, that's a cool cover too. It looks,
yeah.
I
I was bummed you weren't here to talk about the last one, because it felt like a lot of like threads were starting to converge a little bit in it, so looking forward to talking about the next one.
Yes, sir.
Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Redder, issue 4. Justice Society of America, issue 8. Which is cool. Mad Magazine 35. Peacemaker Tries Hard, issue 6. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, 124. Spirit World, issue 6. Superman Lost, issue 7. Imagine feeling like you're in this weird section that's after the Facsimile editions. Like, there's a really, like, what they consider not necessarily bad, because Danger Street's in here, but just like the weird batch at the end. The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue 11. The Sandman Universe, Nightmare Country, The Glass House, issue 6. The Vigil, issue 6, final issue of that as well.
That's just a panel from the last issue we read.
It is, yes. I mean, maybe there's spoilers in the cover, or it's just not done yet. It's
also not done yet. But I was just like, that looks familiar. Yeah.
Waller versus Whalestorm issue 4, and that wraps up the single issues. There's a deluxe edition of Strange Adventures coming out, so that's probably going to be a hot seller, I imagine. Yeah. Nightwing Volume 4, The Leap, 4th volume of Taylor's run. Dark Knights of Steel Volume 2, second half of that book. So cool. Which one day will finish in single form, I believe it.
Eventually.
Poison Ivy Volume 2. Multiversity Harley Quinn screws up the DCU. Vixen NYC Volume 3. Zatanna and the Ripper Volume 2.
That doesn't look like Giles.
Yeah, you knew I'd make that joke if you didn't.
I know.
Teen Titans Go to the Library. Very good. Danger Street Volume 1 softcover. First 6 issues. Absolute Luther Joker, new edition, so it's the two.
Yeah, I feel like those two books are along those as long as they keep them in print. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. They clearly always sell.
Yeah.
So, you know. Archimaniacs. That's a good title. It's a new printing, but it's a very good title. Batman Eternal Omnibus, new edition.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, well, you see the names, right? It's Snyder and Tynan, and then you look at all the artists that are here.
Well, if it's a really comic, you got to have at least 4 rotating artists, if not more.
No, yeah, but when you look at the names here, right? Fabic, Wynn, I didn't know Seeley Drew. Right?
I wonder if that,
Blanco.
Is that a mistake, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe? Because Higgins is there, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, Blanco's there, Alvaro Martinez, so...
Do you know, I only ever read the first, like, handful of issues.
I remember I got to one where the art was super not my thing, and I stopped.
Yeah.
So, and it was Batgirl focused, so maybe I got through, like, the first 12.
It was a tough sell, but I think the idea of binging an omnibus I like that more, I think, than at the
Weekly.
time. Admittedly, I think if this existed now for our show, it'd probably be quite a good constant staple every week to read. But I think at the time, it felt like a bit of a burden to keep up with.
Yeah.
Batman Volume 5 Fear State, softcover. Batman Catwoman, softcover. Batman Gotham After Midnight, the deluxe edition. Do you know what? That's actually an interesting deluxe to put out, so fair enough.
I was gonna say, which one is Gotham After Midnight? Is that
Isn't that the, like, supernatural investigator story stuff from, like, during the New 52? Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think so. This is got Kelly Jones and it's Steve Niles. So... Seems familiar, but I'm not too quite sure.
Was that Gotham by Midnight, that was called?
Yeah, I believe that's that
okay,
one.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Midnight. Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I don't really know what this has done.
Yeah.
But fair enough. Batman, Harley and Ivy, which is a Denny Bruce Timm collection of stories. Batman Killing Time, softcover. Dark Knight's Death Metal Omnibus. That's not a surprise they're doing that. So obviously it's Death Metal and all the tie-ins in one big, huge hardcover. 968 pages to be precise. Batman Dark Knight Detective Volume 8. I'm glad they're going with these. So Dark Knight Detective is the fairly meaty collections, about 350 pages a pop, of Detective Comics post-Crisis. And then the other one, which is called... Oh, I can't remember what that one's called, but there's another one that's the same, but for the Batman comic. And they've been keeping them going now, so they're up to Volume 8, which is really cool, because it means you can read every issue of Batman and Detective, starting from post-Crisis all the way up to... Yeah. Whatever. It does skip a couple of key things. It skips, like, Year 1.
Well, makes sense. That's a standalone.
Yeah.
You know, you can pick that up anytime. I like this Matt Wagner cover, though. It's very pulpy.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. So I just like, for conservation's sake, them all being available. Green Lantern Kyle Rayner Rising Compendium is a 700-page softcover which features Green Lantern 0 and then issues 48 through 65, and then just a spattering of issues that tie into those things and other places it shows up. So this, I assume this is just the like his initial Green Lantern run.
The introduction to the Crab Mask.
Yes, that glorious, glorious Crab Mask.
Screams 90s.
If masks were porn, that would be the mask.
Oh god.
Green Lantern Silver Age Omnibus New Edition Volume 1. Yeah, they've done this a couple of times actually. This is like the third print of this at least. 1,000 pages, has issues 1 to 35 plus a few issues of Showcase where you actually get introduced. Which is actually bigger because I think the initial omnibuses of this, because I actually had them, the first one only went up to issue like 22, so they're definitely bigger than the old versions, so they'll be getting through the entire thing quicker, presumably.
Yeah, I mean, 1,000 pages, don't drop it on your foot, people.
Oh, of course not, no. Hardware Season 1, there's a lot of collections this one, jeez. Infinite Crisis, New Edition, fair enough. It's a hardcover, not deluxe though, just a regular hardcover. Justice League Volume 2, United Order, this is the Bendis Justice League run. Nubia and the Amazons, softcover. Superman Son of Kal-El Volume 2, softcover. Superman the Silver Age Omnibus Volume 1. So this is not a new printing, this is actually the first of this, because they were doing the bronze, not the bronze, sorry, the Gold Age. Golden Age.
Yeah.
So this is them finally doing Silver Age. They've done 1 or 2 Batman Silver Ages, so this is the first Superman one. So this is collecting Action 241 to 265 and Superman 122 to 137. So again, for preservation's sake and having everything available, it's really nice that they've got these and they're keeping them going. Invisibles Book 2, new edition. The Question Omnibus by Dennis O'Neill and Dennis Cowan, Volume 2. So I think when they did the Volume 1 Omnibus, I think a lot of people were rightfully skeptical if it would sell enough to get the second volume. I'm glad that it has, though.
Yeah, and here we are.
Yeah. Trial of the Amazons, softcover collection. Young Justice Omnibus Volume 1. This doesn't say new edition, but it is, because I know it already existed.
Yeah.
But 1,200 pages on this bad boy. This is... Oh, no, wait, no.
How do you read that?
Wait a minute. No. This didn't already exist. John's Teen Titans was already in omnibus form. This is new.
Okay, then there was a deluxe, because I know I read the...
There was a series of... Maybe there was deluxes too, but there was definitely a series of thick paperbacks that did the whole thing in like, I don't know, however many volumes.
Yeah,
so that's
what I mean by those. And it was like Young Justice by
Peter David.
Peter David. Yeah.
So this
I read those.
1,200 pages. Has that the first half of that run, I guess. Yeah. No, I mean, if you've got an omnibus, Matt, you read it on a table. It's just have the.
But like all I can think about is bending the spine, just because it's so much. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you have sewn binding, because it's designed to arc up and.
Yeah.
That's why people criticized the first few omnibuses DC did like a decade ago, is because they didn't have sewn binding and it was a big problem. But as long as you've got good binding, that's actually not an issue at all.
But yeah, you gotta take this to like a hefty table. You put this on, just a regular. You're gonna go through it like a wrestler, in a ladder match. Oh. Oof.
You're overdoing this a bit, Matt.
I'm just saying, I don't know if my kitchen table could uphold this one.
It bloody could. Anyway, last up's one more omnibus. Zero Hour Crisis in Time Omnibus, new edition. That's just under 1,100 pages for this one, so happy days.
We're good now.
Sometimes I miss collecting these chunky books, but they cost a fortune, and then they'd sit there for ages before I'd read them if I ever do. So, from a financial standpoint, I made the right choice. But
yes,
but it's cool. I appreciate them all existing. That's a good thing. So, all right, there you go. That's the solicitations. So there was one new surprise in there for us, which was the Sandman Wesley Dodds book, which was immediately met with, "Oh no, it's Riley Rosmo." But I am excited for a lot of the books that already started in September or August. And I'm definitely excited for the Supergirl special and some of those other things that popped up. Obviously, the Kelly Thompson book, Molineth, and really